another live stream. Today we've been talking transfer news. Ben Chilwell is possibly set to join Manchester City. We're going to talk about the Mount contracts dispute and N'Golo Kante as well in that mix. And we're going to talk about more transfer news and then talk about the West Ham game that we've got coming on the weekend. So let's roll that intro. Let's go.
We fucking got him.
And we're back, guys, with another live stream. Everyone's having a good day. Big up to everyone who has joined nice and early, guys. So everyone who just joined, smash that like button on your way in. Lots to discuss, guys. Lots to discuss. We've got transfer news to discuss. It's February. The window's closed, and there's already transfer news to discuss. So we're going to get into that today. Let's go through the chat, guys. Say hi, your hellos. We'll be up to Hakim. Just be up. Once your headline, Ben's situation is wrong because just interested. Might not be able to buy players because of the breach, and that is correct. That is one of the reasons why. He could possibly not set to join, but I think if that breaches, if there's no consequence that they can't sign any players, I think they automatically go for Ben Chilwell. I think, and we will discuss this. I will get into that. But big up to my boy Hashim, big up to my boy Son Gotten, big up to you, my man. Hope you are well. Big up to you. But I want to jump right into Ben Chilwell's team because there is a lot of other things to talk about. I want to talk about Mount. I'll talk about Kante, possibly Kovacic, Aubameyang, and we're just going to fly into that. And then we're going to talk West Ham, guys. West Ham is a big game as well. Big game. So, the thing on Ben Chilwell here, guys, is Ben Chilwell is one of the players who have been appreciated by Man City. He's one of the left backs to consider, but I'm told not only one, they will have a short list of players in that position and will decide how to proceed with Pep in May/June. So they have a list, and they're going to decide because I think João Cancelo is not coming back to Manchester City after the recent dispute, so they're going to go for another centre back. Now, to be honest, I like if you look at Ben Chilwell now with he's just aged like tremendously. You look at this guy's beard. Like if you got Ben Chilwell, when I was getting the thumbnail, or Ben Chilwell, I see clean shaved. The guy looks so much younger because we haven't seen him in years. Like we haven't seen him professionally play football since November 2021. Like since then, it's nearly been a year. It's been a year and a half, guys, since he's really professionally played football consistently. So the reason we bought Cucurella was because of this scare. Now Cucurella has been a player who hasn't hit the ground running quickly. Like he hasn't been doing that well. But I think Cucurella is still a somewhat of a decent player. I think he's a good player. I think we did sign a good player. I think Cucurella is a good player, but I don't think he'll ever top what Ben Chilwell did, for the UCL season, for that run. Ben Chilwell and Reece James are probably the only two players who kind of stood out, drastically, from the crowd. So I think that was definitely somewhat of a big experience for Chilwell. That was crazy experience. But now he's looking to leave. So would I sell him? If the right offer comes, yes. I think if City want maybe 60, 65 mil for him, should we pay, I think, 50 mil if I'm not mistaken with Frank. I would sell him. I don't think he has what it takes anymore. He hasn't really progressed since that injury, and he's actually declined quite a lot. So it's a difficult situation. I understand. I think a lot of fans will be, upset about the move, but I think if he leaves, he leaves. Like it's nothing to kind of be upset about. The guy's declining. The guy hasn't kind of gone in form. He isn't playing. Maybe now he's starting to kind of play. So maybe from now till August, because he is starting to kind of come back now. Because I think he started, and then I think he got a little injury again, and then he was out for that whole World Cup run. So he's just all over the place, man. And look at someone like Kovacic. We're looking at getting rid of Kovacic because he's not available. So if Chilwell becomes that same person who is not available week in, week out, then the best thing to do is just sell him. And as we've said, we're in a process where, if you want to continue this process, we've got to start getting rid of players. You've got someone like Lewis Hall and Ian Matson who are absolutely performing very, very well. Matt said at Burnley, and obviously, what's his name? Lewis Hall, in the first team. So they're players who are thriving. So how does Chilwell kind of get a fit in there? Because you got Cucurella. I think Cucurella, he's number one for a reason because the guy defensively is good. I think we expect him to be a attacking threat. I think he's a very old traditional left back where the guy kind of just defends. He's very like you put him against the Mo Salah. He had Mo Salah in his pocket. Against Liverpool, so the guy can defend. Mo Salah, like Cucurella, can defend. It's just maybe everything else like progressing. Well, we got Chilwell who kind of can't defend, and he's more of a progressive player. Like the guy can dribble, can cross. So they have their pros and cons. But I think overall, I would want my left back to be more defensive than attacking, and I don't think Chilwell kind of has that. So, as I said, if an offer comes for him, I would get rid of him. But because he's just not available, these days, guys. Like, when's the last time we professionally saw him? But this was from another City extra, so they did say Manchester City target, Chilwell, the left back option. So they either go for, I think, some like Chilwell, maybe who else is in the market to kind of get as a left back. It's kind of limited, so I think Chilwell might be a good option for them because you can play more attacking wise and be more of an attacking threat. But let me know what you guys are saying, guys. Chilwell, you guys want to keep him, want to sell him? Let me know what you guys are saying. Smash the like button, guys, on your way in. Would appreciate that as well. But guys, Aubameyang, guys. Now, I spoke about this last couple of streams ago, but last stream before, how Aubameyang is set to go to LAFC. So Chelsea will cover the whole salary on a loan deal. Only thing missing is the okay from Aubameyang. So here's the thing, he's getting phased out the squad. That I think, he goes on loan. But what's the point of a loan? Like the guy, if I'm not mistaken, I think the guy's 33. The guy's like what, 33? 33 to be 34 next year. We give him to LA for 6 months. He becomes 36, 35. So there's no point in loaning him. Just sell him. But there's no point in getting rid of him and then go buy a Marcus Thuram, who's the exact same as Aubameyang, a player who needs service. I think the reason why Aubameyang has failed at this club, and I've seen this multiple times, is because he doesn't get service. When we signed him in August, I said, "Oh, he'll be great because you got Ben Chilwell coming back who's creative. You got Reece James who's creative, but unfortunately, you don't have any creatives in your attack. But at least you've got from your wing backs. So I think he'll get maybe 12 goals for the season. But he hasn't because you've seen Ben Chilwell get injured. Reece James get injured, which was a massive threat to our creative options. And besides Reece James, no one else was creative. You got Gallagher's supposed to be a creative person, doesn't create. Mount doesn't create. Ziyech is on and off, but now you're obviously on Mudryk and all that. I'm saying before that. So I think Aubameyang is a player who has failed because he hasn't got service, and that's been same with I think Lukaku would have succeeded at this club if it wasn't for that interview. If Lukaku never did that interview, I think he would still be here today, and he would still be I think doing decent. I think he will maybe not have 25, 30 goals, maybe 9 or 10, and will progress higher. So getting rid of someone like Aubameyang is just doing the same, same thing. You get rid of Aubameyang, you get rid of Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram comes in, he fails. Why does he fail? Because he gets no service. It's always been like that. We've always had that, even since Hazard left, Hazard was here, we had Diego Costa. That's why ever since that was our last, Diego Costa was our last kind of good striker because, he had Hazard behind him. You got rid of Hazard, you got Tammy, who was shocking, either way. Giroud was okay, but it wasn't enough. So, then obviously Lukaku came in and all that. But getting rid of Aubameyang, if you want to get rid of Aubameyang, go, fine, get rid of him. Then don't get a Marcus Thuram and then complain when the same thing happens. Because the same thing will happen. You get rid of Aubameyang, you get Marcus Thuram, same thing happens. Do you want to get rid of this, drought of a striker not scoring goals? Start playing Joshua Fofana. Because at least Joshua Fofana is a player who can create for himself. He doesn't kind of need and rely on a lot of creativity. Because we saw from the weekend, the guy can come out of his shell, come out of the box, kind of create, whipping balls. So the guy can do it. He's more of a I would say not generational, but new generation of a striker. Compared to like Aubameyang or like a Thuram, who's very traditional. You need to give service for them to score goals. So if you're not giving a player service, they're not going to score a goal. As simple as that. It's not rocket science. But yeah, let's get on to the next piece of news now. I'm just trying to find it, guys. I don't know why it's not working. Hang on, one second. My Twitter is down. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I don't know why it's not working. Okay. Don't know why I was doing that, but alright, man. I don't know. This technology shit's fucking killing me. But anyway, Kante, guys, Kante and Mount's futures are in doubt. Co-owner Todd Boehly is handling Mason Mount's new proposed 7-year contract, but little progress has been made. Kante is reluctant to accept a 2-year contract with an option for an extended year. Now, so with Kante, um, Kante is a player for me who can walk out the doors, and I wouldn't really worry. The guy's already been out for nearly like what it's been 8 months, nearly coming to a year, maybe in 2 3 months coming to a year. So the guy's done, and we need to stop kind of revolving around these injury prone players. They'll come back. He'll have this glance of 3 4 weeks. Like we saw with players like Loftus Cheek. Who's now getting injured. Every time he touches the orange slice. Like even like Hudson Doy. Always just get injured out of nowhere. So we got to stop with these players, and if they're just consistently getting injured, just come to start selling. It even comes down to Reece James. If Reece James, for the next 2 years is in and out and he's not consistent, it's time to look elsewhere. And I think that's what we've done with someone like Malo Gusto. Coming in, Malo Gusto in August is someone who's not going to be a secondary wing back. No, Malo Gusto is coming to technically compete with James and possibly replace him if James keeps getting injured. So with Kante's the exact same exception. If Kante's he comes in, can't tell him now, so I guess we have to let him go for a free. Like we deal with every player who's on high wages. We'll let him go for a free. Send him maybe to Nice or PSG or somewhere. So he'll play good football there, whatever. But I think the league's physically too hard for him. I think coming back from this injury on his thigh or groin, yeah, all right, mate, come in for a couple of weeks, but after that he's not going to continue playing for a long time. He is old. And I don't think the injuries get any better. That's far from 31, 32 next this year. So I don't know. If we were to get rid of him, I wouldn't complain. If we were to keep him, fine, whatever. But when we got players like Santos coming in, you got Zachariah, who's kind of even injury prone. It's like, don't you want to get rid of some of the players? Don't you want to, instead of hodling someone like Kante's on, I think, 300K a week. So the guy's on a lot of money. Everyone thinks, oh, he's, as Alex Goldberg says, oh, he's Mr. Nice Guy. He smiles. He does blah, blah. The guy's on 300K a week. I don't care who drives a Fiat. The guy's on 300K a week at this club, right? So I just would not, extend it if he's going to continue being out. The availability is the best availability. If you're not consistently playing on 300K a week, you got to go, my friend. You got to go. So now Kante, he can go from it. I wouldn't extend his contract. If he, out of nowhere, magic spell, he comes back from his injury and plays 3, 4, 5 months, and there's no injuries whatsoever, give him that extension. But it's not going to happen. He'll come back in 2 weeks. I think maybe Champions League, maybe the game after they come back and we have to take time to rotate these players because they're old. We don't want. Let's not play him here because he might get injured. Like I'm done with that. If you're not going to be fit, don't play. Leave the club. Simple. Like this guy's. We have to start being ruthless with these players, guys. I'm sorry, but I think ever since Hazard left and Lampard joined, right? It's just our standards and our everything just dropped. Right, we give exceptions to these players for being injured. Oh, he's injured. Oh, he's injured. Exceptions to these players for having consistently bad games. So for me, a big factor is availability. And especially if you're on 20K a week, yeah, I wouldn't care. Like I don't know who would just say maybe I don't know. Maybe like when Callum Hudson-Odoi was here. Like it doesn't matter. Who cares? He's shit. He's on a lot of money. Get rid of him. It doesn't matter. He stays, whatever, but he's not on a lot of money. But this guy's on 300K a week. So Kante for me either has to get back in majestic form, and not get injured, or he goes for free in the summer. Because you got, as I said, you got Zachariah. So this is our midfield now. You got Santos, Enzo, Zachariah, Kante, Kovacic. That's 5. 3 of them are injury prone. So wouldn't you start to at least get rid of some, or would you just start to huddle them all? So it's like injury prone, injury prone, injury prone. Everyone's injury prone. I wouldn't just keep all these injury prone players. I'll start. So start with Kante. Obviously we have to let him go on a free now. Like we missed out on an opportunity in January. We're too busy thinking. Again, like that's another factor. People are gonna come and complain. Like when he goes for a free. If I mark my words, it's 9th of February right now, but I'll say right now, in June, when Kante goes on a free, if it doesn't extend, people will come and complain, why didn't we sell? Why didn't we sell? Blah, blah, blah. And everyone needs to come back to me because I was one of the only fans who was saying, start selling these players, especially people who have 1 year left. You sell Jorginho, that's great. He went for 12 million. You could have got easily at least 30 mil for Kante. 35 at least for Kante, easily. Oh, no one wants to match his wages. You put him on the market, someone will match his wages. Here's the thing, people don't understand. It's like it's like you're putting him on eBay for sale. You're putting a player, like Mal, you're putting him on the auction. If someone wants him, they'll come buy him. Like I just don't understand. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain. But it's like if you put them on the market, you put them on auction. Teams will come and start looking for them. Even clubs in Saudi, clubs from China, they'll come and start looking at these players. That's what Ronaldo was. He was up for sale, so Saudi came and took their chance. Biff the Scappy, who says, I would feel a way if Kante went to another PL team for free. Not gonna lie, and obviously they'll devastate a lot of it. And that's what I'm saying. I would rather you sell him to Arsenal for 30 mil than just let him go to, I don't know, maybe like, where does he go? Newcastle for free. I think Newcastle will snatch him off for free, probably, because they can probably match his wages, or City, someone. So. Not sure. Maba says, big up man, if Chilwell leaves, then Maatsen should be given a chance for left back as a left back for Chelsea next season. And yeah, I think Chilwell leaves, the Maatsen comes back and you've got Lewis Hall, Maatsen and Cucurella. Again, that comes down to what Cucurella's been up to in the last, coming to June. If Cucurella stays in form, and then you kind of dictate from there. So yeah, Hashim says Kante is like a sub player in my opinion. He's a sub player, but is he fit enough to even be in the squad? That's my concern. Is Kante, can wake up Monday morning and will he be fit to start? I don't think so. And maybe for the next 3-4 weeks he will. But what about the next 3-4 months? And then you're going to give him 2-year contract for the next 2-3 years. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, he's a sub player, but it's like you need to get a sub player who is still available. Kante is not available half the time. So yeah. But yeah, so he doesn't want to take. He's reluctant to take a 2-year contract, an option for an extra, and I think Kante knows his contract is similar to a Thiago Silva's. He comes for 2 years. If he continues to be on form, he gets another year. If he continues to be on form, another year. So it's like Silva's, but I don't know what Kante really wants. Does he want a 7-year contract? Like I think 2 years with an option is more than enough. That's crazy. That's 3 whole years. The guy goes to when he's 34. Like that's a crazy contract. I don't know why he hasn't accepted, but okay, he's reluctant to accept it. I don't know why. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone thinks Kante's Mr. Nice Guy, but oh yeah, he'll accept it. No, he won't. The guy's not all this Mr. Nice Guy. Everyone think he is. Like yeah, he smiles and that, but the guy wants what he wants best for himself. But I'm confused why he doesn't want this contract. To him, it's a massive 3 years, a massive contract. So I don't know. I don't know because that takes him until he's 33, and then you can extend it to when he's 34. So it's a long time. Can't say he wants 3 + 1 years, but again, okay, I understand he wants 3 + 1 years, but again, if you play good for 2 years, you get that option from the third one. You play good for that last year, he knows how it works. Like Thiago Silva's contract, it doesn't end until Thiago Silva says it ends. Kante can get the same treatment if you're still performing. The club's not going to get rid of you. It's like I don't know. It's like it's all rocket science. If you're performing week in week out, you're 33. You're coming to your last 6 months of your contract, and you're putting in Thiago Silva, efforts. Of course, the club's going to keep you. So I know maybe he wants that pen to paper. I want 3 years. Set record set. But as a fan, I say absolutely not. If he wants 3+1 and he's been offered 2+1, that shows me that I don't think he has what it takes to continue to play for even 2 years. Because as a player, if you're performing week in, week out, there's 6 months left in your contract, of course the club's going to extend it. So I know Kante knows he can't last 2 years, he'll be gone. So he wants to get that extra year to kind of be like, okay, give me 3 years, I'll play, for 1 year, be on the bench for 2 years. But at least he'll be contracted, So I would not give him anything. I would not give him any. I would sell him, let him go free. We should have sold him in the summer. We didn't. You want to give him 2 years? He has to prove from now. Like again, it's like we have to beg Conte to accept it. No, Conte has to prove. Guys, remember, Conte still has to prove to the fans why he deserves an extra contract, just like Jorginho did. Apparently, it wasn't enough, right? So Conte still needs to do the same. Conte needs to prove to the fans why he deserves to stay for an extra 2 years. So I wouldn't give him nothing right now. Nothing. Doesn't deserve anything right now, Conte. He's been out for 6, 7 months. Give him a contract, just sit on the bench. Fuck that. No way. Koulibaly is basically on the contract that Kante wants. Koulibaly is 31 on a 4-year contract for 300k a week. Again, you sign someone like Koulibaly, who you signed from another club. Kante's already been here. He's obviously he's a legend to the club, and I understand. He want all these players. Oh, but this guy's doing that. It's like a child. A kid gets a lollipop, but you got Max over there who has 2 lollipops, and then he's like, I want 2 lollipops. It's like, mate, you already got 1. You don't need 2. So, but I want 2 because Max has 2. And so these players, man, they just want what other players want. They just want to be sheeps, man. Just I don't know. If I was Conte, I'm saying it's lucky that even extending you a contract. Seriously, it's lucky. So I'm not fussed. If he takes it or not, don't care. But if he takes it, that means he's telling me, okay, I'm gonna continue to be in form. I'm gonna continue to keep fit. I'm gonna continue to keep healthy. So. Previous admins gave out some really bad contract. Yeah, I mean, Koulibaly, again, I've said this, Koulibaly, great player, I think, in Napoli, but there was a reason why no one went for him for 4 or 5 seasons. Manchester United were on his ass for 3 years. Liverpool wanted him for 2 years, and no one ended up buying him. And, it came down to being our 5th, 6th choice. We had, Koundé was our first, De Ligt was our second, Vardy was our third, and then it came down to Koulibaly, Fofana, no, sorry, hang on. Remember, guys. This was our centre back. This was our centre back in the summer. Our centre back ranking was De Ligt was our main priority. Couldn't get him. Koundé was second. Couldn't get him. Vardio didn't get him. Ake couldn't get him. And then there was Koulibaly, Fofana. So they were our 6th, 7th option, guys. Don't forget that. I'm not hating on it, but I'm just saying. Remember, Koulibaly was our 6th option. So, and there's a reason why no teams went for him 3, 4 years. Now, I think Koulibaly still has what it takes. I still want Koulibaly to succeed, but the evidence was right there on why you should have never got him in the first place and give him such a high wage. We bought him in 2022. Since 2018, Liverpool and United were all over him, but they never bought him. They went and bought Maguire over him. I remember everyone was saying, "Oh, remember United bought Maguire, blah blah blah." We got Koulibaly's, I don't think it's having the worst season, but I think it's not the best. So I hope Koulibaly still comes to the best because he's on fucking absolute massive wages. But I think it's looking like he's going to be actually out. I think Koulibaly, actually, we'll go to that segment now. Like Koulibaly's actually looking to be out, which is crazy to me. I mean, you give this guy to come in, and it's like we already have to get rid of him. It's like what the fuck, like. I don't know. Hang on, let me just I don't know. Guys, we got 14 people in here. I need everyone smash the like button. Let's hit the 15 likes. A bit of obviously we need everyone to make sure to stay. Post notifications on, so we can continue these streams. Who posted it? This is a bit of an old article, but it says that Chelsea set to be big sellers when the window opens in August. Cucurella and Koulibaly are players who could leave. So, getting I don't know. I don't think that's the smartest idea to get rid of both Koulibaly and Cucurella now. Now, obviously, if you're someone who wants Koulibaly out, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong. I think you have every right to that because the guy is on massive money. He had massive expectation. He needs to upheld those massive expectations. So I think there's every right to say that you don't want him at the club. But for me personally, I will give him till August. He has to at least show me he's doing his time because I don't know. Maybe it's because Thiago Silva is so good, but then Battle of the Shield comes in and he's like, phenomenal. So Cucurella is, I think, a player. I don't know if you guys looked at the Fulham game, but I think Cucurella was just everywhere on the ball that he didn't get a minute to breathe. So I don't think Cucurella is a player that I would definitely give a lot of time to because the guy's not on massive wages. But again, he still needs to perform. But I would definitely keep him over Chilwell for sure. But on Koulibaly, yes, he's on massive wages. So he needs to definitely step up a bit for sure. But we did give some pretty bad contracts once, but I think after January it kind of did change. But let's go to Mount. Let's talk about Mount, guys. Mickey, my boy Mickey, co-owner Todd Boehly is handling Mount's new proposed 7-year contract, but little progress has been made. Anyway, now do I even need to really speak on Mount, guys? But everyone knows my opinion on Mount. Mount does not deserve any contract extension. Anything. Any contract extension for me. Mount deserves none of it. I think he should be sold. I think the best thing to do is get rid of him. Send him to Liverpool, get 50, 60 mil for him. Great. The guy's not good enough for this team. We've seen it for years. He's never been good enough. The only good season he had was that Champions League run. But again, Timo Werner was great that run as well. Pulisic was great that run. And where's Werner? Werner's in Leipzig. Pulisic is now going to get sold. So same for Mount. I mean, Mount and Havertz have lived. I think winning the Champions League was one of the most, I think one of the worst things that happened to this club because it exceeded his expectation for the players. Like Havertz and Mount exceeded the expectation that they scored one goal, got one assist in this big game, which was great. They did well, but they never continued. They haven't done anything since that goal. What has Mount done since assisting Kai Havertz in the Champions League final? Nearly 2 years ago, guys. Nearly 2 years ago. Fucking crazy, man. He's done nothing. He's somehow gotten worse. He somehow hasn't progressed. And now we're seeing all this, and then we see people like this Mason Mount banner shit. Like, banners aren't just. I don't know. Mason Mount gets a banner before Kante. This is beyond finished. Mason Mount gets a apparently his banner's coming up in against Southampton, which is for me. It just shows another reason why I want this guy out of the club, because again the fans have created a narrative and pretended like Mickey Mouse is the best thing since sliced bread, when the guy's far from it. The guy's an average player. Willian is better than him. Willian, a player of the year for this club award. No one ever used that to his name on why we should sell him. No one ever said, we should keep Willian because he was player of the year. Kovacic, no one said anything why we should keep Kovacic. He was player of the year. No one ever said that. No one's saying why we should keep him because of it. Player of the year means jack shit. I mean, yeah, you maybe did well to the fans, but again, there was probably some bias in that, and Mason Mount has shown there's bias in it. If he wins it for the third year, that just sums it up. That just sums it up. So, no for me. Mason Mount can absolutely go. Like he does. He's far from solving our issues. He's a massive problem. And people don't like when I talk about him, but I'm just saying what needs to be heard. Like the guy's a bang average footballer. I mean, now this Twitter division, recently has been mad because we got one side, like we are the racists. I mean, sorry, we are the shed end. Creating a new banner, and then comes out and says this about Jorginho, how they should not have a applause for Jorginho. So I said. Not we are the racists. We are the shed. Sorry, just means the same thing, because they're both fucking horrible. They're genuinely they're the disgusting account. Really, guys, they're embarrassing. But I don't know. The day Mason Mount leaves, guys, is a day. I've said it for months. The day Mason Mount leaves is a day our club will return. So wait for that day to happen. I do see it happening. I do see Mason Mount possibly leaving. I think you know I think it's done for him. And then you got these stats. You got like these stats. And this one, Mason Mount lives off these stats. You got someone look at this, Alex Goldberg. Oh, one of the biggest frauds. Ever since Hazard left, Mason Mount leads in goals, assists, chances created, big chances created, and much more. What's the much more? And he's still 23. Perspective needed. Half of this is false. Already, half of this is false. Chances created. Mate, since he stopped taking corners, he hasn't had an assist. He hasn't had an open play assist for nearly this year. He hasn't had a whole open play assist this whole year. You got Alex Goldberg from the byline. Who listens to the byline? Who wakes up Monday morning and listens to the byline? Listening to the byline is like paying for a girl's OnlyFans. Like, why pay for it when you get it for free on the internet? Why pay for this rubbish when you could hear much better content for free? But big up to Alex Goldberg because he's making bank off it. But to the fans who buy it, mate, it's like everyone who buys the Byline podcast, you're buying an OnlyFans account. I'm saying it right now. Mate, why buy an OnlyFans account when you get it for free on the internet? It's like watching the Byline. Who watches this shit? Oh my... Yeah, man. Again, Alex Goldberg, biggest fraud. Just makes up stats, makes up lies. Just to defend Mason Mount. And that's what it comes down to, man. If you're defending, if you're making up stats to defend the player, that's when you know the player's really done. I've said that for years, actually. I said that. I said that when even back when like Hazard was here those days, when even though some people make up stats from, that's not his real stats, But yeah, that's pretty much and that's it. I don't want to even dive into more Mount because there's no point. Chelsea are looking for clubs in France. They've been offered Bordeaux. So I think Todd Boehly wants to expand his kind of empire and buy another club. I think this will be great. I think this is a great idea. I think buying someone like like a club like this. Where are they sitting in actually Ligue 1? Are they still in Ligue 1? Bordeaux FC. The third. Oh no, they're in League 2. Oh, they're in League 2, not in League 1. I thought that was League 1. I was like, whoa, third. But yeah, they used to be in League 1. But yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to kind of, this is how you develop players. This is how you kind of expand the youth. I think props to buy. I think it's a great idea. So I would definitely go for this. Hakim says we have to support. Mate, why is the thing not working? Sorry, Hakim. Guys, what's wrong with the thing today, guys? Absolutely shocking. Oh, my comments isn't working. What the hell? Why isn't my comments working? Sorry, guys. That's why I'm like, why is someone commenting? Bro, my comments aren't working. The fuck? What the hell? Sorry, I bet. Why is my comments not working, man? Fucking StreamYard. Everything. Okay. Blue, be able to blue. Sorry, man. I haven't seen any of these comments. For fuck's sake, man. Why can't I see the... I don't know what's happening, man. I don't know what's happening. I think, guys, the bylines come from me. Please see that for Chilwell. We don't want him. Jay says Cucurella should stay. The agenda is crazy because a lot of him like Chilwell. That is true. Jamie says, who partnered with Silva in the Champions League? Coolly. Again, like, Potter doesn't go and get me Battle the Shield, which is crazy, man. I don't know why. Don't know why Battle the Shield isn't in the squad. Man deserves one, to be honest. Man has... Wait, what? Man deserves one. Man has been one of our best and most consistent players over the past 3 seasons, but just not on 250k where like Reece James like he wants. Mount's lack of vision and positioning annoys me, but he can be useful. Tell me how he can be useful, because he is not useful whatsoever. He's hopeless. Really, he's genuinely he's hopeless. I see him, like I don't see him doing anything. I mean, people say, oh, he's been consistent. He's been far from consistent. So I think what we're seeing now is just people lying just to kind of work around to support him. We have to support Mason Mount, in my opinion. Did you see what Eric Ten Hag did with Rashford? Here's the difference. Eric Ten Hag is a fucking world-class fucking manager. what he fucking did with Jadon Sancho is fucking unbelievable. That is a fucking world class manager right there. But don't tell me about Rashford, because Rashford is under a world class manager. We're under a fucking PE coach. If Eric Ten Hag came to Chelsea, mate, I'll probably be supporting Mount as we speak. But there's a difference. We have a PE coach and they have a world class manager. And we did have a world class manager, and he still was shit. So maybe not. And the thing with Mount is that he's not progressing. Rashford kind of stalled, he declined, but he got back up. Now he's through the roof. So Mount hasn't even been progressing. And we give Bishop to go on holiday and become stronger. Again, we're using now Eric Ten Hag's logic. We're using what he's been doing. The best thing for Mount is to drop him. Drop him first. First thing to do is drop Mount. We dropped Mount in Salzburg. That was one of the best football games we've ever played. Right? So I would say drop him against a big game and let's see how we do without him. If we continue to play so many good games without him, fucking sell him, man. Like, I don't know what people's excuses are. People came to me 2 months ago saying, oh, he needs to be playing as a midfield. Okay, he plays in midfield against Liverpool and Fulham. He still did shit. Now the excuse is, oh, he needs to go on, needs to be given a break. The difference between Mount and other players is that when you talk about Mount, you're attacking him. But when I talk about other players, I'm attacking Mount, I'm attacking him, but I'm criticizing Havertz. I'm saying the same thing about Havertz and Mount, but as soon as I get to Mount, I'm attacking him. Stupid. Exactly. Mount had it. Exactly. Tuchel was a world class manager. Tuchel got the best out of Jorginho, who was declining. Rudiger, who was about to leave under Lampard. Alonso, Reece James. So you got the Mendy. You got the best out of half these players, but Mount was still not there. So I don't know. I don't see it. And Mount, guys, Mount would never succeed this club. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I saw Malo Gusto is injury prone too. Got injured. Yeah, I know. The Chelsea curse, man. The Chelsea curse. These players are getting injured, man, left, right, center as soon as they get linked to Chelsea. So, am I still not getting? I'm still not getting messages on my thing. I gotta have a. Oh, StreamYard, you're so. Hang on, guys. 1 second. Let's re-enter StreamYard. Let's see if it works this time, maybe. Because this StreamYard shit's so ass, man. I can't see comments. I have to go on the YouTube tab. Mate, Alex Gold as whoa, that should be. Alex Goldberg has hacked my StreamYard after talking bad about Mason Mount. He's hacked my StreamYard. Okay, now Malo Gusto's injured prone. He gets injured. Yeah. I mean, now obviously this is the Chelsea curse, and now he's getting injured, which is fucking crazy, man. I mean, I can't believe it, man. But what's his talk about Super League or something? I'm seeing my timeline. Not too sure. It's back, guys. Apparently, the Super League is apparently coming back. I'm gonna bring the thing up now. It's back 2 years after it was thrashed. Plans are underway to launch a 60 to 80 team tournament that would replace UEFA Champions League. Damn, man. I mean, remember we had that massive I think Todd Boehly's against it, which is actually I think Roman was for it, but I think Todd Boehly's against it, which is maybe something we can possibly maybe overhaul. But this would be a horrible decision. I mean, why break something that's not broken? Like there's no point changing the Champions League. It's a great league. They obviously there's more money involved. You can buy more players, blah blah blah. But I think it's good for players like Southampton or like a Newcastle, maybe like an Everton, like these smaller clubs that can get well. But then what's the point of promotion? Top four, final for top. It just ruins. It just ruins. I think the game which we already have. I think we've already got a good structure. Why ruin it? Why ruin it? But guys, Andrea Santos bowling in midfield. For Brazil. So I think it's a player who comes back very soon. We'll definitely want to see him soon get in the first squad. I think, as I said, I think he's a player who kind of replaces someone like again Kante. I think he comes in and replaces Kante. But when will we see that? Don't know, man. Because looking like Kante's doesn't want to sign the 2 years, but he wants 3+1 years. But why would we give him 3+1 years if he's going to be injury prone? So this is a player who I need to see come back. Andre Santos, baller of a player, great player. Hopefully, no big injuries. We don't need any big injuries for sure. So I'm just really hoping that he can come in and perform. Just see if there's any breaking news, guys. Before we wrap it up soon. This is Bowie. Guys, Frank Carlo needs to chill, bro, with this Mount problem, man. Last season, Mason had the most goals and assists for Chelsea. Frank came on the channel a couple months ago. And I know it's a very supportive guy, but Frank needs to stop with this Mount prop. I think Frank's getting paid. Because, man, you got to calm down. 29 goals. Yes, we know 29 goals. But half of them were from corners. Half of them were against bottom 6 teams. If you take it all, his assist, you take his goals in top 6 clubs or top 6 teams in goals that matters. If the goals that, after we score 1 or 2 goals, it comes in like 8. So, again, great number. But on how he got the number is not good. It's not a good number. And when you got Lukaku sitting at 17, and even Timo Werner 17, so he's just 10 above them. It's nothing special. We had the 10th worst attack in the league last season. We were sitting 10th on attacking wise. So this isn't anything good, man. And this is anything to be proud of because first point, as I said, how he got the goals, 29 goals, assists, whatever you want to say. Half of them against bottom teams. Half of this is against corners. When it was coming to a Big Six team, he didn't score in them. When he had to win us the game, he didn't win us any game. It was when we were winning 1-0, he got us at 2-0. So, again, it just shows he's an average player. He's a super sub to finish the game up. That's what he's used for, but we can't use him as a super sub because the fans would never let him. Oh, you're using a 2-time player of the year to be a super sub? Oh my God, he's this. Fuck out of here, man. Honestly, get the fuck out of here. But again, you look at someone like Lukaku, who was at 17, who played a quarter of the game Mount played. And Lukaku got sold. You know, the guy got sold. He was one of the worst signings for Chelsea Football Club ever. And he got 17. Timo Werner, 17. Played half the games Mount did. And he got sold. So imagine if they played the same games as Mount did. How many goals they'll get. Like, I don't know. And you can see comments here, like Chelsea fans should support Mason Mount. He get back to his best soon. Support him. Yeah, we'll support him when he starts proving himself. But he's not. He's not like it's not. We're supporting, but we're giving constructive criticism. That's different to attacking him. Jay says people are coming for Chelsea, but did La Liga not spend over 100 million players on one go? I mean, no one's coming for Chelsea. No one's because we did it right. We did it right. No one's coming for. What do you think about selling Sterling? He's 28 on 350k a week. Sterling is a major concern, 100%. I mean, again, that's a player who, you know, come August may need to get sold. Yeah, he's not. And then he got injured for the first time, I think 3-4 years or something. He missed about a month. So, definitely a worry for me. Definitely a worry for me. We have to start getting rid of a lot of players for sure. I mean, I at least know Sterling's a player I know can get us goals out of nowhere. I know he's a player who can create. I know he's a player who can take on players. Mason Mount, I don't know if he can do any of that. That's the difference. With Santos, we cannot make the Mount mistake when he starts regularly. Exactly. I've always said that, Jay. You get Santos in, he comes in and rotate. That's why I said keep Jorginho because he can rotate with Jorginho, and then you have Jorginho and Enzo, and you got Santos rotating with Jorginho. But we got rid of Jorginho, so I guess maybe you have to force Zachariah, or hopefully Kante gets fit because you need one more player to kind of be there. So you can switch and swap. You don't need to just force Santos. Do not rush Santos. Yeah, I wouldn't. You don't want to rush Santos in. You don't want to rush him at all because, as I said, you rush him. Comes down to a Mount problem. So I would not rush him. Guys, let's get these likes up, guys. We got I can't even see how many people in the house. We have 15 people in the house with 13 likes. Let's hit the 15 likes. We're gonna wrap it up in about 5 minutes. And now again, like I've said, Mason Mount's like North Korea propaganda, man. Like they just feed you with this false information, you know. Jay says, don't forget that Mount was benched for England, so there's no excuse that he was bad for England. Took to look at Pulisic underwhelming for Chelsea, but not good for USA. Yeah, and we're still sitting here and saying we should sell Pulisic. You know, as I said, he was fantastic for USA, but we're still saying sell him. You know, like he's not good enough for Chelsea. When he puts on the Chelsea shirt, he's shocking. He gets injured, so just get rid of fucking all of them, man. I don't care. Again, StreamYard, you're so shit, man. I don't know why your comments aren't showing. No, comments are not going to show. I can't put them. So I'm just going to read from the side. But again, you got someone like Potter, as I said. People were talking about Eric Ten Hag. If we had Eric Ten Hag at this club, we would be a much better club where we are right now. Because he's a world. What he did with Jadon Sancho is fucking unbelievable. Giving him, putting him out, and then he comes yesterday, first game in a while, and scores a goal. Same with Rashford. He woke these players up. He said to Ronaldo, "Get the fuck out of my club." That's a proper manager. I'm so pissed we didn't get him, man. I never called for him. I never knew he could do this, really. But that's a manager we definitely missed out on, 100%. That's a proper manager, not like this Graham Potter PE coach fucking thing, man. And how guys, how long do you think Potter will last? Because I've said I think Potter's, for me, is an interim manager. He's a manager that's be here, maybe till maybe exactly a year, to next Jan till we sell him. I don't think he's here to win anything special for us. Breaking news: Simon Phillips says Chelsea have identified Napoli striker Victor Osimhen as a primary striker target for 2023 summer window. He's a player that we need. This is a striker who can create for himself, as you can see in the Chelsea kit. Definitely loves the club. Definitely wants to join the club. It's just the price tag, guys. Price tag on Osimhen, very, very expensive. And the Napoli guy isn't going to do any cut deals with us. The guy knows we've got money. The guy knows we can spend release clauses and whatever. So I think I think this will be a record signing as well. But again, he did have an injury problem. Let's bring his injury record up because he did have an injury problem. But when we're Chelsea, we don't even look at injury problems. We just buy him. We don't care. They had 4 ACLs torn. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just buy him. So I think it was his eye socket. Let's stop showing this. Let's share Victor, and they are gonna win. They're probably they're most likely gonna win the Serie A. So again, they're gonna up his price even more. But this is a very, I would say not too long, but it's a very decently sized injury list. He just had his biceps femoris muscle injury, 32 days. What the hell is a bicep muscle? Bicep muscle femoris. Strain or fracture occurs when the tendon comes away from the bone, taking a small fracture of the bone with it, causing. Jeez, how do you get this? Wait, back of the knee? What the fuck? Jeez, all right. And then he had muscular problems 2 days, cheekbone fracture, calf strain, head injury. It's not the worst shoulder injury. He's had a lot of muscle injuries. Muscle problems, shoulder injury, bicep femoris muscle. So it's not really. Is this football related or is this like? It's crazy, man. It's not muscle related. This is like gym injuries. Would you have Hansi Flick or Luis Enrique? Hansi Flick, I don't know. I don't think he's as demanding. Luis Enrique, I wouldn't mind, but it's not my ideal. My ideal is a Pep Guardiola, man. Give me Pep. I'll wait for Pep to get sacked and get him because I think he'll be getting sacked soon. Stabby says he does. I don't want. How do I pronounce his name? Osimhen. I'm gonna say Victor. I think he's a good player. I think he's definitely a player we should get, but because he's more of a creative striker, we see obviously as I was talking to you guys before, this is a player who I see as a perfect fit for our system, if you would say, because we've had multiple strikers come in, and everyone knows over the years they've came in and they failed. Why have they failed? Because they haven't created for themselves. Look at these stats, fucking hell! 17 appearances, 16 goals, 4 assists. I watched someone post one of his goals the other day. It was fucking insane. Goal participation 39%. Gee, so that means, if I'm not mistaken, that means he creates all his goals. All his goals are created from himself. That's if I'm mistaken, let me know. But because the goal participation is low, that means he's not participated in the goals that are getting scored. So that means he's creating for himself 60% of the time. If I'm mistaken, let me know. But yeah, I mean, again, he is playing in a great team where he's getting, you can see, like 4 assists. Yeah, who's he? He's playing next to that Georgian guy. I'm not gonna even try and pronounce his name. Bakayoko is there? Oh man, Bakayoko's gonna go and win the league and then come back. Gonna win a Serie A. So you got. Hang on, let's just look at it from here. It's too confusing. Serie A. Napoli. Who did Napoli just play? Napoli played Spezia. So it's got that from the pronouncing and Lorenzo. Wow, Lorenzo's still playing. I thought it was Elmes. Lozano, the Mexican guy. Yeah. Of course, knows. Yeah. How many? This guy's been balling out this season. He's been doing crazy numbers. How many assists does he have? 9 assists. That's crazy, man. This guy's balling. This guy's a killer of a player. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah. So he obviously says he's surrounded by a lot of great creative players. So you still need to have that in the squad. That's why maybe a Mudryk coming in, a Madueke coming in. That's someone who advances at the striker position to come better. It feels like Chelsea doesn't actually want to do any scouting to see how the player plays. They just see who scored a lot of goals in Europe and try to buy him. Since with Werner, Havertz, Lukaku, I think look at Lukaku. I still think Lukaku would have performed if we got a creative player behind him. Havertz, yeah, didn't really look at him that much. And Werner, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Chelsea should be scouting players that are less than 50 minutes, especially midfielders. And I think that's the go. I think, not every player who's worth, who's a big player that's was 100 million, 120 million that worked out at any club. Haaland did. Take away Haaland. Bruno, yeah. Sancho, no. Grealish, no. Havertz, no. And I'm talking Prem as well, by the way. What's the big money? That's pretty much it. That's like the big. Lukaku at Man United, Lukaku at Chelsea. Both failed both times. Pogba to United failed. So Maguire to United failed. So they're big money. I'm talking Premier League, Scabby, not overseas. But big money that comes to Premier League doesn't really work out that much. So I would prefer to go for a player who's 50, 60 million and then develop them into the squad. I think, getting someone like a Madueke was a good move, as a player-wise. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. Getting someone like Osimhen, that needs to tell me that this guy comes in and he has instant impact. Like Mudryk. Mudryk's 100 million. That means Mudryk should be one of the best players of this club to ever play for this club. Because he's 100 million. If you want to get a striker, as I said, Dash Fofana is right there. I think Dash Fofana, you develop him. I think become a great player. Really, like in the next 3-4 years. I don't think he starts now, but I think in a couple more years. But if Osimhen was 50 million, yeah, get him any day of the week. But he'll be 120, 130 million at least. No, his goals are very scrappy. Like he has to happen to be in a position to put it back in there. And that Carver dude is a beast helping his stats. I agree. Carver is doing well. But I've seen a couple of goals he scores. A couple of the goals he scored out of the box, screaming. Like they're good goals. But you're right, I haven't really watched all of these goals. Chelsea have had talks for new contract over Lewis Hall, says Hashim. Be to Hashim for letting me know. Yeah, I mean, Lewis Hall is a player that we definitely want to keep, definitely don't want to get rid of at the moment. I mean, he's playing better than a couple of our main players, and so I think we're looking to get rid of Chilwell before we get rid of him. So, to me, that's kind of insane that Lewis Hall comes in and instantly makes impact. Trying to find if I can see it. I cannot find it. But I want to just finish off here the Victor Osimhen. What's everyone saying here? I think people are very happy with if we sign this deal. I think it's a great deal we get done, but let's see how Mudryk works out. Enzo, because these are big players who we sign money. And is it less than okay. Maybe it's not about the money. Maybe it's about if they fit the position. So maybe Kai Havertz and Werner, when we got them, they didn't like. We got Werner as a striker. The guy couldn't play striker in the Prem. We got Havertz as a false 10. Now he's playing striker. We got Ziyech as a winger. He's playing as a left mid or right mid. So the players we got over time never really fit the system or never fit the formation. That's why I said, I think coming to this window, this was our first window where we actually bought players that suited the way we played. And the way we play is, I think, with more inside forwards and wingers, and you're signing someone like Enzo, who's not a central defensive midfielder. He's more of a hybrid, DM. So we're starting players now fit more of the formation. Come to where we signed the Frank Lampard season, didn't really work out. Remember, we had Frank Lampard season and then Bowie's season. And now Bowie's second season. Bowie's first season, Sterling, Cucurella, Koulibaly. Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella. Those are the three players we signed, I think. They didn't really work out, to be honest with you. They're doing all right, but they still got time to prove themselves. But it's just they haven't really worked out. But come to this second window, you got Battle Shield, made instant impact. Who else is there? Enzo from one game we saw him, instant impact. Felix, instant impact from that one game we saw him. Mudryk, instant impact from that one game we saw him. So let's hope they can continue that. Please, we need to have some players to come in form. Once the Potter will rotate the players with the squad we will have, then we can see how effective. Protected. One of the reasons why Pep has won so many UCLs because of the score rotation. The reason why Pep won UCLs is because he knew what he wanted, and he's a world-class manager. We have a PE teacher as a manager. Potter doesn't know what he wants for breakfast tomorrow morning, let alone who he wants to start Monday morning. So, for me, Pep, if you want to win the league, you gotta get Pep because Pep knows what he wants. Pep got rid of one of the best left backs in the world, João Cancelo, because he thinks he never fit the system. Take away how he plays, he got rid of him. That's crazy. Imagine if Pep walks in the same, Mount's gone, Havertz is gone, Mendy, like Aspie's gone, Mendy's gone. The guy's ruthless. That's what you need. If you're not performing, just go. Sib says, "What are the chances Mount starts against West Ham?" Very high chance, probably. But let's do the West Ham lineup now. Let's talk West Ham. West Ham's on Saturday, and that for me that's a must win. Like, there's no excuses to now. Pressure's on Potter. You've had your one game to settle in the players. The one game's here. That's it. You've had your one game. Felix is back. Kante is back. James is back. These players are back. No excuses. Must win. So start the back. Kepa, I like him. People, Mendy's back in training, but Mendy's not touching this pitch. By the way, guys, people think Mendy's playing. Nope, absolutely not. Mendy ain't playing. What will we play? We're playing a bit of a like that, but yeah, this is what we play. Something like this. Let's start left. Left will be Cucurella. Oh my days, man! That's what his name. In the middle, Battle Shield plays because we got UCL on the weekend. So, and he's not going to be playing the UCL. Don't know fucking why. Puts him over Chalobah. Don't know why. But he's in squad B, so maybe he does play. I don't know how it worked. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how it worked. On the right, again, Silva's. I remember those days we had to kind of limit Silva, but now he's playing a lot, so it's good to see. On the right, I would start James and then take him off. Start him and then take him off. James is a right wing card. Why is there a right wing of James? Let's give this go. This is where it gets spicy now. This is what I'm This is what I love to do. I'm loving this. Fernandez, lovely. This is like what I need. This is what we need. That's with the Z. Enzo, fantastic. Love to see it. If Cover's fit, Cover starts. If Cover's not fit, fucking force Kante to start. I don't care. Don't really care. I want to start him. In the middle, Felix. Oh, this is great. I love seeing this. Is fantastic to see. Fantastic settings. On the left, my boy, Mudryk. Let's go. I need to see some. Now Mudryk will actually play better because Mount's so fucking. And here's the thing, guys. With the Fulham game, I don't blame Mudryk because Mudryk was not the poor guy got attacked by Mount the whole time. Mount was on his ass in his position the whole time. So I don't blame Mudryk for that game, honestly. Let's go first right wing. Right wing. Start Ziyech. Why not? Up front, I think unfortunately Havertz start, but I would start Fana. Really, like it's something new. So this is what I would start. That's what everyone's saying. We're still stuck with Potter, unfortunately. Jason's Mount and have let's like let me. Oh, I gotta do for fuck's sake. Let me refresh so I can read the comments. Bro, StreamYard's so ass, man. Oh my days, man. Let me just refresh so I can see the comments and I'll get up. But yeah, this is the line I'm gonna do. Let's see what everyone else is saying. Mount and Akai will start. Probably will start. Here's the thing. Potter has. Here's the thing with Potter. If Potter wants to start Mount and Havertz against West Ham, that's fine. Whatever. You start him. We lose again. There's no creativity. We'll lose again. And if Potter wants to keep starting Mount and Havertz, Potter can fucking live with him. Mount Havertz, Potter can all hold hands and walk and jolly good day at the fucking club. Because that's the reason we keep fucking losing. You want to fucking change? You want to win? Get rid of these fucking bums. Man, I'm sick of starting Mount and fucking Havertz, bro. So I hope they don't start. We have the T-Pash. Yeah, I think Mudryk is back. Fine. Yeah, I forgot Madueke. I wouldn't start. I'll bring Madueke on. I wouldn't start him yet. I'll bring him on. Favorites will lose to Sibs early kickoff. Yeah. Number 10, Felix. If Mount starts, I'm ready Potter out, brother. Don't worry. Potter will never. Potter's already done this. Potter was finished before he even started, man. I'm sorry. We have the James and Silva should be benched. We need him for fresh UCL. Yeah, I mean, now are we coming to the point where we now got to start benching Silva for UCL? But then you have to start Koulibaly. And do you start Koulibaly next to Badalishil? I don't know. But guys, let's get these likes up, guys. Let's get these likes up. I don't know what we're doing. Come on. 4-2-3-1. That's what we put. That's what we pretty much have. Chalobah ahead of James. Which of our CMs are even fit? I think Cover's fit. Kante's slowly coming back. If Kante's fit, start him. Chilwell to start? Nah. Mount, right, no. Madueke over Ziyech. I wouldn't start Madueke yet. I'll start Madueke maybe after UCL. I'll start Ziyech, bring Madueke on 60th minute. Like, I'll start James and then bring Chalobah on 60th or Aspie, whatever, 60th minute. So like, yeah, I'll put the subs. The subs I'll do is maybe Aspie for James, 60th minute. Madueke for Ziyech. Maybe Kante back and ready, so maybe Kante for cover. And then start Havertz for Fana. And if you really want to do it, then bring on Chukwuemeka for either Felix, you give him rest for UCL, or Mudryk. So these will be the subs I use. If you want to use the 5 subs, there it is. Kante, like guys, if Kante's back in training, Kante needs to start fucking playing, man. He wants that 2 years. He got to start playing. So, I'll take off cover, bring on Kante, take off Felix, bring on, Chukwuemeka, take off Fofana, bring on Havertz, Ziyech for Madueke, and Ashley for James. That's how I would do it. Havertz isn't going to be benched no matter how much we want him to be. How much we want him to be. I mean, yeah. Well, you want to keep losing, that's what happens. Kepa, Hamish says Kepa, Hall, Silva, Ben Chilwell, James, Zechariah, Enzo, Mudryk, Havertz, Madueke, Fofana. No Felix, no Cucurella. I wouldn't do that lineup. Sibs, imagine Mount Banner against Southampton and doesn't even start. That'd be fucking funny. But again, that Mount Banner situation, man, I don't really want to speak about it. It's not worth the time. Oh, yeah, Felix is back. Either Havertz, Felix instant starts. You call Havertz a bum, but that's a mean phrase. He's not playing his position. Whereas Mace has played Again, Havertz hasn't played in his position, but he's not good enough to then change the positions to be played in it. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have played football ever, but like Mason Mount, the reason why Mason Mount and Kai Havertz isn't being played in a natural position is because they're not good enough. If they were good enough to be played as number 10, Graham Potter would change the whole system to suit them. If they were world-class generational, Mason Mount will play as an 8 every week and Kai Havertz will play as a 10 every week. You know, you can't do that. So they're not good enough to simply start and revolve the team around them. That's why Havertz plays as striker, because Felix is better as a 10. And when Havertz does play as a 10, he's not good enough. That's why he doesn't start as a 10. So you can't start someone as a 10 because they're not good enough. Simples. Felix is a must because he had more shots on goal than 100%. Felix is a must start. Like it's no conversation on that. Felix automatically starts. The guy's back, he starts easily. And man, I really hope if he continues his form, we can sign him because this T is an absolute class player, man. Absolute bowler. Yeah, guys, I think. Listen, this is what the subs I'll do. I wouldn't start Madueke because I think I'll start Ziyech, bring on Madueke, and I wouldn't start. Who else want to start? I wouldn't start Kante or bring him on because Kante says Kante needs to start getting. Kante needs to start playing. Like the guy is fit, the guy's back in training. He wants that 3-year extension. He needs to start fucking playing. He needs to show. All right, I'm ready. Would you try Felix at right wing? So no. Next season, Felix at the right wing to see if he can complement Nkuku. I mean, Felix, if what's his name, Nkuku comes in, then you got Nkuku here. Nothing changes. I don't know. So I don't know. That's what his name. But Nkuku here, that's it. Nkuku plays striker. Like the guy plays here, you got Felix behind him. If Felix plays here, you're Mount here? No fucking way. Actually, Mount will be gone. So you got Felix behind. Keep Felix in the central area. Felix thrives in that central area. He plays here. You put him, so he brings the ball. I think he's a better version of Kovacic, where he brings the ball. He can actually take on players and then have a shot, or take on players and give a through ball. Kovacic, it's like his head's always down. It's like he dribbles past 3-4 players, but after that he's like, fuck, what do I do? Like he can't. Nothing extends from that. And you got Enzo behind him to kind of feed him that ball, so he kind of Felix sits around kind of this position, and he covers his whole kind of central area, and he can kind of give the balls to Mudryk to fire out wide. So it works really well. It works much better to play and Felix more central than playing as a far right winger. And I wouldn't complicate that. I would keep Madueke there, Ziyech there. When Sterling's back, I'll put Sterling on the wing. Like, keep the wingers for the wingers and the central for the central. People's going to go, oh, but you just said Mason Mount is essential, but he plays a winger. The reason why Felix is playing in this position, guys, is because he's good enough. That's why he plays in there week in, week out. I wouldn't put him there because he plays better here. Mason Mount's been playing here, and he's still shit in every position he plays, so it doesn't matter. What happens if you get Vlahovic or another striker? Tipash, we just discussed this about Osimhen. Then Nkuku plays here. Simple. Like, Nkuku can play as number 10, and you got Nkuku being bit of more central player, and you got Mudryk kind of being more the fight out wide player. Players don't need to touch we don't play with the kind of where wingers touch the line anymore. These players kind of play more central, and you got players like Reece James who kind of hits the line. So Nkuku kind of plays more central position where he plays around here. So he covers this area, kind of goes to the corner sometimes, and you got Mudryk who kind of holds that line. Like he's the one who kind of makes those sprints up and down. So if Osimhen comes in the summer, easy. You got Victor Osimhen, and you got like Osimhen here. So you got Nkuku here. So I think that's how we line up kind of in the summer. You probably got your secondary person there, but this is how we kind of line up in the attack in the summer, which is a very, very good attack. Moises, what about Havertz? Oh yeah, Havertz is on the bench. Yeah, Havertz on the bench, and you can kind of get that super sub, possibly for for Fofana. I would rather start it for Fofana. I mean, I don't think it happens because we are Chelsea Football Club. So if we're gonna go with what the manager does, I think Havertz starts, but I would definitely start a Fofana up front. He's much better to start than Havertz, man. I don't know why you would start Havertz. I mean, we've seen what Havertz can do. We know Havertz is not good enough to continuously play for this club. So maybe Havertz can be the secondary to Joao Felix, maybe come on for Joao Felix, but I wouldn't have a player who's on 250k a week to be a rotation player. So yeah, I mean that's it, guys, for today's stream. I hope everyone did enjoy. We got West Ham Saturday, so we'll be back Monday. We'll talk about that. So big up to everyone who has joined. I need everyone to smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Guys, that post notification bell needs to be on. So appreciate everyone who does that. I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So when you come in the stream, guys, let's go on the. So when you come in, guys, make sure this notification bell is on all when you subscribe, and that like button is smashed. And I will see everyone on Monday, 10:30 a.m. UK time. We're going to talk about the West Ham game. Hopefully win. My prediction, I'm going to say 2-0 win. Must win. No excuses. We lose. It's going to be big problems because everyone's back. There's no excuses to when we lose. So big up to everyone. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Peace out.